Hey, Facebook. Hey there. All right, let me get to my, oh, there we go. Facebook page. How is everybody? All right, so once again, I told myself today that I was going to give my voice a rest and I wasn't going to say much, but I was just sitting down a few moments ago writing out my blog for the day, and I just finished it, and I got so fired up as I was writing it that I was like, I have to speak on this because I touched on fear in my, there I am. I touched on fear in my blog, and it brought to me two stories that I want to share with you, and I want to talk to you about fear and around the fact that it's not real, right? And so let me share this really quick. Let me share it real quick. I only have like 20 minutes to do this live stream before I have to go get my daughter. So bear with me, sharing it to my pages. All right, let's see. We share it into my group. Okay, great. All right, so here's what I want to talk to you about. I was writing my blog a few moments ago. Hey, guys. And I was talking about, my blog is all around surrendering to your truth, right? And I started off by saying that, you know, in the coaching industry, in the online business world, you hear a lot of coaches talk about, you know, being in your truth, being authentic, being transparent, showing up as who you are for your audience, right? And I totally agree with that because the coaches that I have worked with in the past and the coaches I work with now are all, you know, highly successful women who show up every single day and they speak their truth. They're honest about things. They share their story and they allow you to connect with them. But what came to me also as I was writing this out, hey guys, how are you? As I was writing out my blog today, I touched on fear, right? At the end of my blog, I said to my reader that your fear is not real. And here's what I want to share with you on that. Now that sounds, you know, you hear that every day, right? You know that fear is false evidence appearing real, right? And what I was getting at is I want to share two stories with you that really will share with you and illustrate to you how fear is not something that you need to allow to rule your life. And here's how I look at fear. I don't believe that you will ever live your life without fear. There's always going to be some fear in your life, right? But what I believe is you have got to prioritize that fear in your life. If you are prioritizing fear and allowing fear to be in the driver's seat and you be in the passenger seat, then that means that you are living your life and running your business based upon what fear wants you to do. So fear's in the driver's seat and it's saying, nope, don't do this, nope, don't do that. That doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel safe. Don't do it. Whereas if you can learn to prioritize fear as something that, yes, you're going to feel it and it's going to be there, but you allow that fear to be you know, on the passenger side, you know, of your life and of your business where you see it and you recognize it, but you know also that what fear is projecting to you in front of you is not real, that you can still proceed forward, you know, and still feel a little scared, but you can still proceed forward. And that is where you reach your potential. That's where you reach your growth. And that is where you go to next levels, is when you look the fear face to face, recognize it is there, but you still proceed. So let me share these stories with you, okay? I'll share the one that happened to me yesterday. Yesterday, I had to go, hey guys, let me know that you're here. Yesterday, I had to go in for an MRI scan, right? Because for the past month, my back has been like really hurting me really bad. And so I finally got in to get an MRI scan yesterday. And one of the things they ask you on the phone when you're scheduling an MRI is, are you claustrophobic? And I said to them, I was like, no, I'm not claustrophobic. I'll be fine, right? Because I mean, an MRI, you're going into this tube. So in my mind, because I used to work, when I was in corporate, I used to work at an MRI facility. And, I know that people come in and they're claustrophobic. They don't like to be closed in, right? And so in my mind, I'd already pictured what this MRI machine looked like, right? I envisioned that it was this long tube that, had a small hole, and that I would be going through this small hole if there was no opening at the end, and that I would be enclosed in this space, right? Now, in my head, I was like, it's good. All is there. Hi, Solanda. How are you? Thank you. Yes, don't be afraid. And so when I got there, I walk into the room and the tech asked me again. She said, are you claustrophobic? And I said, nope, I am not claustrophobic. I'm not claiming that, right? So I get on the table. She gets me all together. She gives me a little ball to squeeze in case I get, nervous or whatever, and I need her to get me out. And so she literally puts me in there, and I'm going into the machine, and my eyes are open, and fear immediately kicked in. And I got this surge of fear within me that was like, no, you can't do this, because what if you can't get out? Because if you've been in an MRI machine, it's like right here, right? Like you look up and it's right there in your face, right? And so you can't sit up in the machine. And so this fear kicked in, and I immediately told her, I said, ma'am, I said, nope, I can't do this. I can't do it. So she pulled me out. I took a few deep breaths. I talked to myself. I was like, Kendra, this is just all in your mind. Nothing is going to happen to you, because see, that's what fear will do to you. Fear will make you believe that your life is in danger. Seriously. Fear will make you believe that your life is in danger. And that, going back to speaking your truth, that is the reason why many women in life and in business are afraid to really speak their truth and are afraid to really say what they desire and want in life, because they're afraid that by saying it or that by speaking it, it's going to cause some threat to their life. Now, I know that seems drastic, but that's what fear does to you. Fear makes you believe that if you speak your truth, that if you speak up and say, this is not what I want this. If you speak up and say that, you want to have your own business because you don't want to work for somebody. If you speak up and say that, that a relationship isn't working for you. If you speak up and say that, that your money situation is not where it needs to be, you need help. You feel like if you say that then something detrimental is going to happen to you, and it's not. Okay. So let me finish my story. So yes, Alonda, yes. So she took me out of the machine, and, I did a little bit of breathing or whatever. And so then she goes to put me back in. I'm like, all right, I'm good. She puts me back in. Well, she did it again. And of course I freaked out again, right? Like, I'm just being totally honest. I freaked out again. I was like, oh my gosh. And so I started getting mad with myself, because I knew that it was all a mind thing. I knew that nothing was going to happen to me, but I had to figure out a way to help myself feel safe. Right? And so this is what you got to do when you know that you need to do something, when you know that you need to step out and practice that faith a little bit. When you know you need to step out, what you need to do is step back and say, okay, yes, I'm feeling scared right now. I feel fear, but what can I do to help myself understand that I'm safe? Because as women, that is really what we want in our life, in our business, in our relationships, with our money. We want to know that we're safe, right? And so she took me out again, and I said, okay. I said, let me just get up. So I got up off the table, and I looked at the machine, you guys. I looked at the MRI machine, and I was like, oh. I said, there's an opening at the other end of the machine? And she's like, yeah. She's like, there's an opening on both ends. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize that, because in my mind, fear had made me see that I was going into this small tube with no way to get out. Right? But what I realized when I got up and I looked at what it was that my body was saying I was scared of, I realized that, oh, okay, I'm just going in a little bit. I wasn't even going in the machine the whole way. And then what I realized is that the machine was much smaller than my mind had allowed me to see. Because see, that's the other thing that fear will do. Fear will make the thing that you need to do so much bigger than what it really is. Okay? But when you take yourself out of it and you step back and you look at it for what it truly is, you begin to realize that, oh, okay, wait a minute. So this thing that I'm scared of is really not that big of a deal. right? But see, when we allow ourselves to stay in the emotion of fear and we allow ourselves to kind of settle down and unpack our bags in this state of fear, we can't see that. But when you step back and you look and you say, what do I need to do to help myself feel safe? Then you can see that what the thing is that you're fearful of is not even as big as you thought it was. Right? So when I looked at that machine and I said, oh, okay, so there's an opening on both ends and the machine is nowhere near as long as I thought it was. And then she said to me, she said, well, you know what? She's like, well, let's try this. She said, let's try going in feet first, right? And I was like, cool. I'm like, I'm ready. I got this. Okay. So what it allowed me to do is I allowed myself to step back, see the fear for what it was. And because I did that and because I saw it in a different way, I was then presented with another option of how to proceed forward. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? I was presented with another option of how to proceed forward. So that's the other thing that happens when you step back and look at your fear. Number one, you see that the thing that you're scared of is not really that big at all. Number two, opportunities will be presented to you for you to proceed forward in a different way that makes you feel even more comfortable. Okay. So what she said to me is she's like, oh, well, cause I'm saying this out loud to her. I'm like, the machine's not as big as I thought it was. And I said, oh, and there's an opening at the other end. I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, it's not as bad as I thought. And then she said to me, well, let's try going in feet first. And so we went in feet first and she gave me a little towel to put over my eyes. Right. And here's the interesting thing. The towel didn't fully cover everything because I could open my eyes and still see that the machine was literally right here in my face. I could still see it, right? But because I stepped back and was presented with new options and because I looked at the fear for what it was, I was able to calm myself down and proceed forward and successfully complete this test that I've been waiting a month to get done, right? So what is it, I ask you right now, what is it in your life or in your business that you're looking at that you know you need to proceed forward with? You know you need to go in that direction, but maybe you're not taking that step because you're fearful. I want you to think about what that is for you. And I want you to go back to the beginning, listen to this live stream again. And I want you to do the things, go through the steps that I just mentioned. Look at it from a different perspective. Maybe get somebody else's perspective, a really, good, grounded friend. Get another perspective. Pray about it. Prayer for me, when I can surrender to God, also allows me to see things from a different perspective. Okay. So here's the other thing I'm going to share with you around fear. The second time that I realized fear was really not this big bad monster was when I just finished my master's degree in healthcare administration, and I was offered a position for which I totally did not have the experience for. I had the education for it, but I didn't have the experience for it, right? I had never managed multiple multi-million-dollar medical practices before. I didn't know about all the healthcare compliance laws. I didn't know about all the healthcare regulations and all that good stuff, right? Solanda, I'm so glad this is resonating with you. I didn't know all that stuff, but I still proceeded forward and I put in my application, put in my resume. They interviewed me, and out of 8 applicants who had the experience and who had, the qualification, they chose me. I was the 7th person that they interviewed. And immediately after my interview, they told me that, after I started, of course, they told me that after the interview, they looked at each other and thought, yes, we want her, right? And so here's the thing. I was scared out of my mind, though, you guys, because I was entering into unknown territory. I was entering into a space that I didn't know. I didn't know if I would actually be successful. I didn't know if I could actually do the job. Like I knew that I was educated and that I'm a smart woman, but could I actually go in there and take these medical practices to the next level? Could I actually go in there and be innovative enough to find new ways for these medical offices to create new revenue for themselves, right? And so one of the first medical offices that they gave me to manage, we had to do monthly meetings with our doctors, right? And so my very first physician meeting, I was so terrified because I had to go in and present their numbers to them. I had to look over their profit and loss statement with them. I had to talk to them about new lines of revenue. I mean, I had to do all this stuff that I was not like used to doing. I had to do reports and analysis for them. And so I was going into this meeting and I told myself on the elevator, because I was afraid that I was going to, stumble over my words and stuff and that I wasn't going to be clear in what I was trying to tell them, I kept repeating to myself, I kept repeating to myself that I communicate in a way that is clear and concise. I am articulate in what I'm communicating. I'm a great communicator. My doctors are going to know exactly what it is that I'm saying. They will understand me. I will speak clearly. I will be confident. Like I was telling myself this as I was on the elevator. And so I walked into this meeting, you guys, and I was, again, still really, really scared because I'm thinking, I don't know what's going to happen. But what I'm going to tell you is I went in there and I faced the fear in the face and I said, I'm not going to allow it to overtake me. And I went in there and I did so freaking good in this meeting with them, right? Like I presented the information to them. I was able to explain it to them. I was able to answer their questions. And I was like, oh my gosh, where is this coming from? But here's what I'm going to tell you. The other thing with fear is you've got to implant the beliefs and the thoughts within you that are going to help you overcome the fear as well. So just like I had to talk to myself through the MRI and through this meeting with my physicians, when you do that, you're counteracting the fear, right? Fear is saying, oh, I don't think you can do it. But you're then telling yourself, yes, I got this. Yes, I can do this. Yes, I am confident. Yes, I am smart. Yes, I have all the skills and abilities. And you're counteracting that fear. That is how you deal with the fear, right? And so after the meeting, I got on the elevator and I thought, oh my gosh, Kendra, fear played this up in your mind to be so big and to be so huge that you almost chickened out, that you almost went in there and allowed fear to take over you. So here's what I want to tell you. Fear is not real, okay? And the last thing I want to share with you, well, two more things I'm going to share with you. And I put this in my blog post today. Understand that you are not designed for fear. You are not designed to walk in fear. You're not designed to live your life in a space of fear. And what that brought me to was 2 Timothy 1:7 in the Bible that says, for God has not given us a spirit of fear. Because you got to understand that fear is a spirit, right? It's not of you. Fear is not of you. Period. If you're a believer in God, in which I am, if you're not a believer in God, then that's fine. But I'm a believer in God, and I believe that because I was created in his image, and because you were created in his image, we have him within us. We have his characteristics. We have his ways, right? But see, because we're also in this world, we can also get bombarded with the ways of the world, and it can throw us off track, right? But I want to remind you today that you are not designed for fear, that you are not designed to harbor the spirit of fear. And so back to the scripture, it says, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and of a sound mind. And you guys, this is something that I repeat to myself all the time, especially in those moments where I'm feeling a little nervous about, about business or about life or about whatever. I remind myself that, wait a minute, this spirit is not of me. This spirit of fear is not of me. Yeah, it's there, but it doesn't mean that it's me, right? And so I remind myself that I am powerful. You are powerful, okay? That I am love, that you are love, and that you have a sound mind. You have a sound mind. So when you remind yourself that you have a sound mind, okay, then you don't have to worry about fear taking over you, okay? You don't have to worry about, fear causing you to go down the wrong path. You don't have to worry about that because you know that you have a sound mind and that you are capable of making the decisions to move you forward. So never forget that, okay? You have not been given a spirit of fear, but of power, but of love and a sound mind. All right? And take that with you and remind yourself of that every day. And then the last thing I'm going to remind you of as I get off of here is that my new 4-week program, you guys, Clarity Creation Cash 2.0, starts tomorrow. We start tomorrow. And so I'm going to leave the link for you so you can check it out. If it resonates with you, I would love to have you in the program and to work with you to help you create clarity in your business, in your life, to help you create the products, services, and programs for your soulmate clients and for your business, and to help you bring in the cash that you know that you deserve, right? And we're also going to be talking about confidence and self-worth in this program as well. So whether you're a new entrepreneur or maybe you're aspiring to be an entrepreneur, this is a program that you definitely want to be in because it's going to be phenomenal. So I'll leave information in the comments for that. But what I also ask of you is please let me know what questions you have about this live stream, what comments you have, what resonated with you, what didn't resonate with you. Solanda, I'm so grateful that you were here and that you were listening and that this message resonated with you. I'm so happy to know that. But let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you have questions about Clarity Creation Cash 2.0, then just simply message me on Facebook and send me a message. I'll be happy to answer your questions or hop on a complimentary discovery session with you over the phone to see if this is the right fit for you and how best you and I can work together, okay? But remember, fear is not real. It's not real. Fear is false evidence that appears to be real, but it's not real. So do not be deceived, okay? I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be blessed. I can't wait to read your comments and your thoughts and to answer any questions you have about this live stream or about my upcoming program, Clarity Creation Cash 2.0. Talk to you guys again soon. Bye.